welcome everyone back to the podcast. Oh man, it's already April, and I missed the April Fool's episode, so maybe we can talk about that. But welcome to the podcast. We're going to be talking about some crazy things today with our good friends Holmboi and the one and only Bear Shark. There's that. I was going to say rumors of a Smash Bros. Movie. Let's be real. There's not going to be a Smash Bros. Movie. Uh,
There's a chance.
there's always a chance. I mean, if
Microscopic.
It's a
microscopic.
hope and a dream. It's a hope and a
Yes.
dream.
Yes. I mean, if Smash Bros happened in the first place, then maybe there's a chance.
Fair.
Exactly.
Because we didn't think there was going to be a chance that Sora was going to get in, and look where we're at now. So
I love how it's just Sora. Like any of that, even. I mean, even the Pokemon Company interacting with Nintendo. I mean, it was so early on, but like even Mario fighting Pikachu in the beginning, even though Nintendo owns, parts of that,
Yeah.
I still wouldn't expect that.
I think Nintendo had a lot more leverage at that time because Pokemon was big, but it wasn't as big as it is now. Because that was what, 99, I think. So
Yeah, 99,
the
I think.
series hadn't only been out for about what, 2 years maybe.
Yeah.
So I think Nintendo still had enough pull to be like, no, you're going to give us those characters
It
at
was
that point.
It was also made by high ups at Nintendo. This was I think it was a spare time thing, but it was It was Sakurai and I am forgetting his name, but the other dude, the dude who ported the battle engine from
Mr.
Pokemon.
Iwata.
Yeah, Iwata.
Another
Oh,
gift
okay.
before he left.
Yeah, exactly. Man, one of many specifically to Pokemon. But anywho, we gotta get into this in just a little bit. We gotta first, before anything else, go around and say, go around and introduce our guests. So, Homeboy, I guess would you like to go first since you are returning?
Sure, I'll go first. What's going on, everybody? I am Adrian Homeboy Holmes. I am a member of the Super Gamer Boys podcast, where we do gaming news. We do a show once a week, and sometimes we'll stream elsewhere throughout the week. We also turn that into an audio podcast for anybody who'd like to listen. It's me and my two friends, Garrett and JJ, and we just have a ball every week, pretty much.
It's a great
Talking
time.
about how much we love games, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was on, talking about Mario and Mario Odyssey. I came in with
Yep.
like criticisms of Mario Odyssey. I didn't know how that was going to go, and it was delightful. So
Yeah, we welcome all feedback, man.
yeah,
We did a Metroid Prime book club with one of the participants.
yeah.
They couldn't stand it, so
Oh, the
that always makes
first.
for more. Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, I know it.
Um,
It can be rough on backtracking, but it isn't that rough. Anywho, and
Yep.
Bear Shark, tell the people at home a
Oh,
little bit about your channel.
my channel. I play games as well as I can hope. I do
Yes.
my best.
I do my
Uh,
best. Yeah. No,
I have a good time failing. I'm a bit of a masochist. I play on pretty much the hardest difficulty on every game I play,
Oh no.
and give myself challenges that I probably shouldn't because I'm not really good enough to do it, but I still do it and have a great time. I like
Yeah.
laughing about failing, and
You
victory
must
just
be playing
tastes.
Elden Ring then.
Oh, I am definitely playing Elden Ring.
I was gonna say if
I
you're a glutton
actually,
for punishment.
Oh
I
man.
start so I have a story about Elden Ring.
Yeah,
It's
please.
it's not a long one, but
No,
it's
go
it's
for it.
based on all the Souls games. Um, so when Dark Souls 2 came out, it had the deprived class, and the deprived class in Dark Souls 2 didn't start with a weapon.
Oh no.
So after that happened, I went back and replayed Dark Souls 1 because I was like, I have to play Deprived the right way. Because I always play Deprived. So I dropped my starting club and I played through Dark Souls 1 starting with no weapon. I don't play through the entire game with no weapon. I always just start them with no weapon. And so Dark Souls 3 came out, and that was a fantastic game. And I had to play the Deprived class
Oh
with no
no.
weapon. So I did that again. Now in Dark Souls 3, there's a very early boss that you have to beat before you can like progress into the game, and that was a
Ooh.
challenge with no weapon. Like I wish I was streaming that because that was a hard one. So obviously when Elden Ring came out, I was like, I'm gonna jump into the game with no weapon. So that was an adventure. It was a
So you
good
were
amount of fun.
what is it, wretched in this one?
Yeah, I was the wretch. Yeah.
I can't even, and I don't play. I'm the guy who so doesn't understand Dark Souls. I'll be that old guy in the back who still doesn't understand Dark Souls. I did play Dark Souls 1. You know, people forced me to go through Dark Souls 1. I got through the first bell, and I was like, I'm only doing this if there's someone on the line who's like my help assistant, you
The
know.
easiest way to understand it, Pocket, is for you to stand up, go over to that brick wall,
Yeah.
and just keep hitting your head against it until you break through. That's
Right.
pretty much
True.
Dark Souls.
True.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll do that on a game like Hollow Knight, right?
Mhm.
I'll it has much more agency. There's like a game feel within Hollow Knight of like I can do anything because you're flying around, you're jumping, you're dashing, you're dodging things, and with Dark Souls, you're being very calculative with all your moves. Um,
Oh, I'm not. I just pray for the best.
Leroy
Going in
Jenkins it.
slashing.
Yeah, that's great.
My go-to strategy when I first started Dark Souls 1 because I was terrible at the game. I ended up finding a spear. And the best thing about the spear was you could continue blocking while attacking while like with the
Oh
spear.
boy.
So you could be blocking and attacking at the same time, which you can't do with the sword. Like you have to drop your block to attack with the sword.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I just don't have to worry about anything. I just hold up my shield and I attack with the spear, and that's game.
That's
For the
game.
day.
Until you get to
Awesome.
the boss, and then they break your guard because you don't have enough stamina, and then
Yeah.
you get slaughtered. But it was a good time.
Yeah, I nearly quit many times when I don't know, those bosses really catch you off guard. If I'm just impressed that people did bash their head against the wall for that long. To get to love it. And then apparently Elden Ring is more beginner friendly. So that
Way
was
more.
It
yeah,
is. Yeah.
that was we spent a whole I think 2 hours last time talking about that with
Yeah.
Gabby
So
Diggs. Yeah, go on.
interesting thing about Elden Ring compared to the Dark Souls games, the bosses are actually designed slightly differently. Now, if you look at them at first glance, you'd think that the bosses in Dark Souls are like basically the same as Elden Ring. It's really hard, like you just do the same thing.
Right.
You don't want to use heavy attacks, you only want to use the normal
Flash and
R1
run.
attacks. Use the light attacks because you're never going to make any progress if you use heavy attacks. But the bosses in Elden Ring are actually a lot more susceptible to getting stance broken, basically. So
Oh,
you can
really?
actually like stagger them. And most bosses in Elden Ring, you can stagger them very easily if you use heavy attacks, because heavy attacks do like 5 to 6 times the stagger damage as what a normal right attack does. So if you take the time, you do a heavy attack, you throw some jump attacks in there, you actually stagger the bosses, and then you can get a lot more attacks in.
Yeah.
So it's like a change to the whole boss perspective, and you don't just use R1 attacks. It adds a new level of strategy, which is really nice, and I appreciate. That's like it's one of those back end things that you wouldn't really notice unless you've got like a lot of hours in Dark Souls, which I mean I've got over 100 hours in all of the other Dark Souls games. So
Of course, if you're playing on any hard difficulty, you must. You must. And uh, there I don't know. I mean, I can go on and on because there's stuff like people play Kaizo Mario, but I guess I
Now
should.
that I
Yeah.
don't understand. That
But
just seems vindictive. Kaizo Mario just seems like it's made to punish you the entire time. I can't do it.
well, isn't that the fun?
there you go. See, that's the
I
thing.
can see it in Elden Ring because at some point you kind of memorize it enough and you get the dexterity enough to actually do it, but like some stuff in Kaizo Mario seems legitimately impossible.
Oh yeah, there are some
Oh, I
parts
bet.
of
I
Kaizo.
am absolutely terrible at platformers and stuff, so I'd probably be atrocious at that.
Oh man.
Real-time strategy is like probably my best genre,
RTSs, I mean, how do you
especially
even calculate that? You probably have to look online for like strategies because I mean, Zerg Rush was a thing. I don't know. I feel like with real-time strategies, there's so much efficiency that you have to how do you possibly calculate what 5 Griffins is going to do versus, 30 Zergs, like, I mean, obviously I'm mixing Warcraft and StarCraft there, but,
yeah.
how do you calculate what the most optimal thing is? Like, yes, they're coming at me with creatures on the ground, so I'm going to have turrets or I'm going to have something that it has advantage. But to get past the higher difficulties of those games, especially on multiplayer, like, I don't know how people figure out how to I'll get everything
It's
fast
a
enough.
lot of game feel
Yeah,
and practice,
yeah,
right? You kind of learn over time with getting in those situations of knowing like, okay, this is what I need to do to defend this kind of situation. Like for instance, I was playing They Are Billions yesterday and today, um, on the hardest difficulty. Now that in itself is a huge challenge. And
yeah.
yesterday I did not do very well. That was my first time playing They Are Billions since it released like 4 years ago yesterday. Um, but I had a whale of a time. And today I played it again, and I am doing a lot better. I'm not at the point where I can beat that difficulty yet, but I have
Yeah.
learned and I've consistently been better in my stream. So
But you play it and then you're like, wait, I could have, had these macros on my keyboard, gone back to base and built that one more what are the orcs that any more farmers that exponentially over time would have given me one more combat unit, which would have
the peons,
exponentially like that type of optimization at a certain point just
something need doing.
yeah, something we do zug zug. It's insane. Yeah.
Work.
Work. Yeah. I miss it. I really want to Warcraft 4, but I have to settle for the horrible remake of
Oh, just
Warcraft
don't even
3.
play the remake. Oh goodness.
Yeah. So we've got a couple really cool topics to talk about today.
Let's do it.
Specifically Pac-Man. We're not talking about Miss Pac-Man. All right.
Oh no, he's
We
got a
don't
new family.
we don't talk about Miss Pac-Man. We got Pac-Man's got a new family.
Man went to the store to get some milk
Yes.
and didn't come back.
Oh man.
He's actually got another kid, different wife.
Oh wait,
They
is
wear
it?
pink instead of red.
Did they
Oh my
replace
goodness.
the kid? Because I know they lost the kid. Or did they
They
replace?
replaced the kid. Yeah,
Oh
they
my
replaced the
gosh!
kid. It's Pac Mom and I don't know what they named the kid, but
But it can't be Pac Baby, which is hilarious because like no one's going
it's
to
not
notice the
Pac
Pac
Baby,
Baby.
no.
They could call it like maybe Lil Pack or something. I
Lil
don't know.
Pac, I like Lil
Pac
Pac.
That might
Junior.
actually be what it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
forget what I read, but it was something along those lines.
and it has like the Pac Baby has the new and improved Pac Baby has like a flower bow instead of
Oh yeah,
like a regular hair bow. And I
it's
love how
top
they
quality.
And I love how they like went back and changed the archives release of Pac. I guess is it Miss Pac? What is this? Pac-Land. Okay.
Yeah.
So they changed Pac-Land to have different pixel art. Imagine the person whose job it was to make new pixel art for Pac-Land in 2022. Like
I've been so
At
upset.
least it probably didn't take them very long.
no, but yeah, it's like clearly. I wonder if they're gonna get sued. Like I'll post this somewhere, but you guys should see for yourself. It's kind of hilarious, and the only difference is that now Miss Pac-Man is rocking like heels.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, Pac-Mom
yeah,
is
Pac
rocking
Mom.
stilettos or something, and Baby Pack, because it can't be Pack Baby, uh, has like a shovel. What is that in Baby Pack's hands? I don't know.
Like,
Shovel?
how do you think Pac Mom lured Pac Man away from Miss Pac Man?
I don't know. That's the thing. I really want to know that lore.
It's those stilettos, you know.
We need a Pack movie to find out. Yeah. Oh man.
Really wanted to show off those legs.
Yeah. They showed that's it's 2022. We gotta show some skin. So like the shoes are like, you know, tiny and
They green M&M'd Miss Pac-Man.
they really did.
Yeah,
And
true.
the green M&M, reverse green M&M herself. She's no longer like
She wears like
sexualized.
Chucks now, right?
Yeah, she's no longer sexualized. I have to Google this. Green M&M.
She wears Chucks and she has like the regular noodle legs, not the.
Oh, I mean, right now it looks to me that like just looks like a regular pack person instead of having. Oh yeah, okay. So instead of like not wearing sleeves or leggings, now she does. That's really it looks like. Oh, and she's wearing
Yeah,
shoes as opposed to um heels.
yeah. There's minimal differences required to change that kind of thing.
And like Twitter is immediately in an uproar.
Oh
Kind
yeah,
of great.
absolutely. I
Uh,
mean, there's sides to everything, right? Everyone's got an opinion. Like, oh,
yes,
this is terrible.
I
How could
mean,
they do this to Miss Pac-Man?
I'll
The
tell you
betrayal.
something. I'll tell you something you guys might be in an uproar about. One of the other pieces of news this week, and maybe I'll find it for you, but um, no, I don't need to see Miss Pac-Man stuff. That um,
What? Get no. That you're in the wrong engine. The wrong search engine.
anywho,
I think you on
um,
Google.
yeah, I was on Google. I was on. I mean, it's just chocolate. It's literally the coding. It's not anything scandalous. It feels weird. Um, Speaking of shoes, there was an article today saying um, that the internet is kind of in an uproar over Kingdom Hearts 4.
Let's go, my boys.
It was announced, there was a trailer. I understand nothing, but I think that's really what they go for. Um,
I think generally, yeah.
yeah. And so one thing that the internet was really wailing about is like Sora is wearing regular shoes.
I think. I think they're trying to do a, how should I say, an art style change for the series overall.
Looks very
So
realistic.
right. I think that's what they're trying to do because Sora, while you can tell it is Sora, he looks vastly different from any of the other games that have come out. So I think this is kind of like that. It's going to be that one point in the series where it's like pre Kingdom Hearts 4 and post Kingdom Hearts 4. Like
Yeah.
going forward, everybody and everything except for the Disney characters, because they always look like Disney characters, is gonna look vastly, not, I should say, greatly different. You'll still be able to tell who's who, but there's definitely a shift here, and I think that was just part of the shift. Was like, all right, the big cartoon shoes was funny when they were kids, but now these are like semi adults. They're not gonna be wearing
I
big
always
Mickey Mouse style
yeah.
shoes like that.
Yeah.
I was always just a huge fan of the fact that it was half Disney, half not. Now he's just kind of Final Fantasy looking. Um, the
Yeah, but
big
he's the half
shoes.
not Disney.
What?
He's the half not Disney. All the
That's
Disney
also
characters are
true.
the
Yeah.
half that are
Right.
Disney.
Yeah, you still got Disney characters and you still got Final Fantasy characters walking around. So they might look more realistic, more like Final Fantasy 15. I honestly
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if we saw any of the newer Final Fantasy characters come in, from 12 and up. I think that'd be interesting
Oh,
to see.
or I mean, once again, I got a migraine playing a bit of Kingdom Hearts, so I think the most I played was the Game Boy Advance title,
Oh, Chain of Memories.
Chain of Memories. Um, so I am the worst person to speak to the topic, but
Homeboy probably knows a lot more about it than I have. I'm not that
I could talk your ear off, but I'm not gonna do that in because I want this to be a entertaining podcast.
Another time though.
Yeah.
Another time.
I enjoy it, but I haven't played that much of the Kingdom Hearts games. It's one of those things where like I plan on, yeah, oh, I'm gonna go back and play. I'll
I mean,
play through all of them
I haven't played
completely.
anything either. I haven't played any of those.
No,
Don't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm like, I'm
Oh,
gonna go
look,
back
like.
and I've
What's
I've played
Pokemon?
some, but I haven't like completely played the entire series. So like I
I
know a
get you.
bit, but it's one of those series that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna play through all of them, and then I never do. So
Hmm.
Yeah. The number one on my list of those is Persona 5. And
Oh, baby.
I'm like a little bit into Persona 4 Golden on my Vita.
Hmm.
And that took me so long, including like giving up and like forcing my friend to beat the first boss or whatever it was. Cuz it's like 3 hours until you get to the first dungeon. There's an absurd amount of tutorial in that game. But
It's I always call it like it's the immersion factor, right? Like they're trying
yeah.
to get you into the world, understand what's going on, get a feel for who the characters are,
Yeah.
all that. Because the story kind of takes precedent, I would say, over gameplay in older Persona titles. So I'd say probably like from up to 4. Um, so I'm glad you're giving it a shot though,
When
because
I
I think
can,
it's great.
it's still a 60-hour game once I'm able to play it. And they're removing it from PlayStation Plus. I don't have a PS5 yet, so I don't know. It's not like
You
I
can get
can't buy a
Persona
copy.
5 for a song though.
What?
You can get Persona 5 for a song.
Yeah. I actually
So
just bought Strikers. I said I know that it's gonna take me forever to beat Persona 5. Maybe I'll play Strikers, but at the same time, apparently you can't play the side game without beating the game first because there's a lot of spoilers.
mm,
That's what I
in
heard.
Strikers,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, Strikers is like
it's post
Persona
game.
5 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'll have it. It'll stick around. It'll sit. And I'll play it
you'll have it
eventually.
there. It'll be like the
Ah.
time when I bought Mass Effect 3 for Xbox 360 or whatever it first came out for, and I didn't even take it out of the package because I was so busy at the time. And then it ended up just being a meme where I just didn't even play it. I loved Mass Effect 1 and 2, and then I just never even got to play 3. And it got to the point where I had it still in its original packaging, like a year and a half after release, and I had bought it like the day it came out.
Oh man. Yeah. What is that one game on your shelf that you really want to play, but you have to figure out when and how?
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's a good one. Um,
If you need time to think, that's fine. For me, it is Persona 5. And now,
I say
yeah.
sorry.
No, I was gonna say for me it's Persona 5, and it's probably also Persona 5 Royal. Now there's another whole campaign or something. What do I know?
If it's any consolation, it's worth the playthrough. They're
Yeah,
both excellent.
yeah,
So I know it sounds like it's a lot, but it's a lot of a good thing. So just
yeah.
keep that mindset with it. Mine would probably have to be Skyward Sword. I
Uh,
have it. I bought the amiibo. I
yeah.
got everything ready to go. I just have to find the time to sit down and do it, because every time I try to go click on that icon, my thumb just scrolls right over to Breath of the Wild and clicks A every time, every single time. So I'll get there.
It's just so much easier to play Breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me now. With streaming full time. I don't
Yeah,
have a lot of time on my hands anymore.
yeah,
Or not streaming full time, but I stream basically whenever I'm not working. So I mean
yeah.
I'm practically streaming full time.
I mean, I've done the streaming full time. I've done the
But
working and streaming the other half the time. Whatever you're doing, you're plugging up the other time with streaming. And so now I'm streaming and
yeah.
like giving myself a little bit more room to do some things like live a life. But um, it's it's a lot. Always a lot.
It is a lot. So it's yeah, I have the struggle of, I have my Steam library here
Oh yeah. Well,
and
that's just
I
always
have I have
Steam is like
over
a
260 games
yeah.
on my Steam library.
Steam is
I've got
like
so many of them.
See, that's how I
yeah.
feel about my Switch. Indie games, man, they are a killer, dude. Especially when
Oh
they go
yeah.
on sale for like $6 or $7 a piece. That's
Oh
how I
yeah.
have as many as I have now. It's just so many of them, and they're all so good. And I'm like, I swear I will get to you all eventually.
You wait
Just
in
get in
line.
line.
Yep.
I try to wait for them on physical, and then I see how much the Switch tax is, and so that's how I keep my library pretty low. But
Smart.
you know, Steam is a simulator of like game satisfaction simulator. You just load it up and you get the satisfaction of like, oh, I actually have this game.
Oh yeah.
And then you
I'm not
close
gonna
it.
play it, but it's nice to know I
It's
have it.
nice to know that I have it. Yeah. Oh man, it'd be hilarious to make like a simulator like that library. Like you download it onto your machine, but you don't play it.
I could do that. I'd
Yeah.
be in. I'd play that for sure.
So is there anything else on that
I-
Pac-Man thing? Well, it was, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Is Miss Pac-Man pressing charges? We
Is
didn't
Miss
talk about
Pac-Man
that.
pressing charges? I don't know if Miss Pac-Man knows.
I mean, it's in the news now. I'm sure she does.
I think they
Is she going
blackmailed
to?
her.
Someone's got to inform Pac-Man. And is this
Is she
going to
going to
kick?
serve him papers? Is she going to serve him separation papers? How has anybody checked on Baby Pac? How is Baby Pac taking this? His parents are splitting up.
I don't know. Is
I
is
think
is
they just stuck him in front of a screen.
is this? Yeah. Is this controversial? Is this controversy going to ban Pac-Man from whatever future Smash Brothers for years to come?
This
Like,
is a good
It might
question. We have to
ban
check with Sakurai.
it might ban Pac-Man from Australia. I know they're a big fan of banning video games for anything that's slightly
This is true.
awry. So I mean, they
the
banned RimWorld, so
oh no.
They banned what?
they banned RimWorld from Australia.
I'm guessing based on the title alone.
No, it was based on the things that you can do in RimWorld. Because it's you don't get to see anything. You're so high up. It's a colony management game. It's
Okay.
fantastic.
Oh.
Colony management storyteller game.
Yeah.
But the things that you can do in the game are like you can harvest prisoner organs and you can
Uh.
basically commit war crimes, but like you're on this deserted planet, well not deserted, but a world far away, and you're generally like trying to survive by the skin of your boots, and you're getting attacked by giant mech swarms or a bunch of evil bandits or something. So you kill them and then you harvest their organs or something like that, and then oh no.
Yeah. It reminds me of all the old video games that were like, oh man, this is so edgy. Um, like BMX Triple X, the Guy game. Like all of them separated. All of them had like
Forgot
really.
about that era of games, dude.
Yeah. Well, it was like 3 or 4 games, right? Like it was Leisure Suit
Let's make
Larry.
it edgy.
Yeah, it was Leisure Suit Larry, Magma Cum Laude, uh, um, the Guy game, and BMX Triple X. I think those are, um, the ones, and they're all just
Those are
like
probably the main.
what?
Those are probably the main ones, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from that specific era. I mean, there's always that. I forget which one it is, but it was like an Atari 2600 game where you're just an Indian and like
Oh,
like a
I saw a
native.
documentary about this. Something's revenge. Something's
Yes. I'm not gonna say the word because I'm gonna be completely wrong, and it's gonna be like
Custer's Revenge.
Custer's Revenge. Yeah, I think the one I was thinking of was a theme park ride. Yeah, and it and it's just like it's not only is it pixelated nudity, it's 8-bit. Not 8-bit. What's Atari? It's really pixelated.
It is, but
it's,
you can tell that's that's meat. That's dude's meat. You can tell.
It's like 7 pixels, and you're offended of about 6 of them. Like, oh man,
Oh,
it's
I'm definitely
notorious.
offended about all 7.
Yeah. The little sky pixel. Yeah.
I'm not very easily offended about many things, so.
But the story on the Pac-Man thing was, I remember when I was reading through it, I was like, oh man, this reminds me of how Miss Pac-Man was made because it was a mod. So it started off as a mod, and then they got the Namco got the blessing from the creators of the mod, and at games, so like they make those Genesis throwback consoles at game.
They're awful, by the way. I
Yeah,
just
they
want to
make
throw that
those.
out there.
Yeah, they don't. It's not Hyperkin. Who's that game? Oh God, they're. This is not.
The
Yeah,
only Genesis console you should be buying is either the original one or the mini that Sega came out with. Anything else is trash.
yeah, and so they went ahead and like bought the rights out from underneath them or something, which was such a weird play. Like,
They had
could
to stay
you?
relevant. They're
Yeah,
not making money
Yeah,
anywhere else.
like come on, like that's what you're going to do? I
that's
don't
their
know.
retirement plan. They're gonna sell back the rights.
Yeah, and then like what approach Nintendo, and Nintendo's gonna be like, oh yeah, you messed over Namco, so sure you can make consoles
Sweet,
for us. Yeah, like
get in
what?
here.
Super weird. It's weird. Um, but let's get over to the other topic at hand, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which I'm going to see later tonight. And I thought the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie was, well, I mean, I guess should I ask you guys first? No, I'll tell you what I thought first. I thought it was passable. Uh, right? It had enough and not it had just enough of not screwing up and not enough of them shoving in too much of the horrible um not understanding their content. I'm not really coherent here, but essentially what they did was they have that new look of, they had that old look of Sonic and they fixed it, you know, and that's
Yeah,
basically the way I looked at it. Like the new look of Sonic, it's not perfect, but it's passable. So the movie was, it was passable. What did you guys
I,
of the
you know,
Sonic think of the original Sonic?
I enjoyed the original, like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie came out, but again, I definitely wouldn't have enjoyed it if they didn't change Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Um, because that previous Sonic was like the stuff of nightmares.
Oh my god.
it was a
But
Gremlins reject.
it wasn't any sort of movie that was just like game breaking for me, you know, or like life changing, or like, oh, this movie was amazing. Like, I'm not saying Detective Pikachu was amazing either, but I loved Detective Pikachu more than I love Sonic.
Did they give
Um,
Pikachu teeth? Probably did. I don't think
I'm
they
kind of
did.
right there. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you guys. I definitely let me say it was much better than I thought it was going to be,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is already a blessing in disguise. And then when it turned out that, you know what, I actually didn't have the worst time. I attribute that to, like you were saying, the design change. I think that was a huge factor, and kind of just resigning yourself to the fact that they are playing Sonic as if he were a kid here. So he's going to do dumb kid stuff and he's going to be into
yeah,
things that kids are into at the time. You know, like
yep,
when he was doing the floss dance and all that other kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what kids are doing now. And if
yeah,
they're going to play him as a kid, it makes sense, you know? So when you put yourself in that frame of mind, it kind of works a lot better. So
yeah,
I had a pretty good time.
yeah.
And I
yeah.
will say, I'm not going to say anything spoilery about two, but I definitely think that they have taken a step up from one.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I was going to say that, like, I don't know why I'm feeling optimistic. And the first movie, I think it was because of all the drama that transpired before the movie came out with the model of Sonic and all that stuff. I just had such a low bar for Sonic. They achieved me enjoying a movie by lowering the bar just further than it could possibly be lowered. Um,
Yeah.
and this new one actually seems like it could be fun. You know, I know what I'm getting into now, and if they allow Jim Carrey to just be himself, which I think is what they're doing, like
Oh, baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm game for that. I don't think I've seen so much on it. My biggest issue with the movie is it's not Sonic 2 and Knuckles. Uh, but
Mm,
I guess
mm-hmm.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles would be more appropriate.
Yeah, that's what
Probably.
I was hoping that they were going to use that name.
Yeah.
If they don't just
Yeah.
call it Sonic the Hedgehog 3, they should call it Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That would be perfect.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I didn't.
Knuckles. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't even know Sonic 2 was coming out. I saw the trailer for it like on Amazon Prime when we were watching something the day before it was getting released.
Oh
I was
man.
like, wait, what? They're making a Sonic 2? And it was like, no, it's actually already made. It's coming out tomorrow. Like,
It's coming out
I was
tomorrow.
That's a nice
mind
surprise.
blown. Yeah, I
Um,
haven't watched it yet, but yeah. I have a pretty low standard when it comes to movies. Like I try and watch it just for entertainment. I'm not super critical on many movies. I'm like, was it enjoyable?
Mhm.
Yes or no? And that's pretty much all it takes for me.
I'm critical of movies when the subject matter and the how should I say, the presentation of it is inviting me to be. You know, like when it's
Mm-hmm.
an A24 movie or when it's something that's kind of artsy feeling or looking, something that you can
Oh
tell that they're
yeah,
trying to say something with it. That's when I'll start to, do a little bit more I have a more critical eye of it. But I don't think
absolutely.
Sonic is asking me to examine the themes of friendship,
No, no, they're
and
not.
the why does Sonic go fast
yeah, I
or
was gonna
anything like
say.
that.
I think they're actually begging you to not look at it under a microscope.
Right.
Yeah,
So
but
they're like, look, we changed Sonic. Don't look at the movie, okay?
He goes fast. He makes jokes. Chili
the
dogs.
yeah, I was gonna say the metaphor of chili dogs.
Right.
What does it really mean? Because yeah, they're not asking you to figure that out. I think the chili dogs thing is just he's a character and he's an individual. And because he's an individual, he has individual tastes, and that is chili dogs. Doesn't matter what, matter why.
Now that's a pretty in-depth analysis there, Pocket. Care to elaborate?
Oh, I'm about to go watch it tonight, so I'm getting my brain primed for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Oh my god. But I do like the old school post. I
Yeah.
really hope I can find one. That's great. But yeah,
Not the collectors got to it first.
oh for sure. But in some theaters around here in New York City, they'll just give them out. I don't know what the deal is. There are two pieces of news on the Sonic movie. One that like Jim Carrey's gonna retire. So there's rumors of his retirement, um, and I don't know if that's actually going to go through, but we'll see.
I feel like I feel like Jim is not the kind of guy who would, if he knew this was going to be a trilogy, he wouldn't bail out on the last one, especially if he's already
Right?
done. Hmm.
Right? Like, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, like if you've already done two, and you know there's only going to be one more that you have to be in, and if you're still having fun with it, which by the other movies he seems like he is,
Yeah.
do the last one and then retire.
Yeah,
And then you can
exactly.
call it a day. Don't leave them high and dry because now they're gonna have to try to find a whole new Robotnik. It's gonna throw the whole vibe of the movie off that we expect from him, and it may end up being a worse movie because of it. Because for a lot of people, he's the big draw, not Sonic. So
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
And
It
I think
says that they won't replace Robotnik if Jim Carrey retires. So that makes it even weirder.
yeah, so then you gotta find a new villain, right?
But like,
If he's not gonna do it,
yeah,
you somehow have to find a new villain that's not Robotnik.
which like I haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen any spoilers, but I'm sure there's one of our characters that are going to be in the post credit scenes, and that's going to be probably a great villain. But you need every once in a while you need Robotnik. Like you need like at least some.
You
He's on a planet
yeah.
somewhere. Like he even if
It might be
he's
one of those things
yeah
where they let Jim Carrey have as much fun as he wants to have with the second one.
yeah
And then they're like, you can come back. Like, if you come back and do the third one, you can just do whatever you want.
and
You
we will
know?
back up a dump truck of money to your
Yeah,
house.
and we'll bring you a dump truck of money as well.
yeah
But if they make him have a good time, then he'll probably come back just for that movie, right? Like, let's wrap up the trilogy that I was just working on, not leave them high and dry. I'll have a really nice retirement hedge fund. Just
That's absolutely, yeah, that's all facts. I would have been thinking the same way.
Yeah, he's gonna focus on art and NFTs. That's not a joke. I think that was the article title. that I found. He's like to retire and focus
Oh boy.
on NFTs and art.
Come
I
Well,
don't
on,
know.
Jim.
knowing Jim Carrey, it might still be a joke. So
Yeah, and Jim Carrey, like he left he left acting and stuff for like 10 years or something. And he already did this. I feel like at some point
there's a very long
into it.
hiatus without him. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you look at the talk shows when he's like almost coming back, he's pretty nutty. Like really nutty. Um so I don't know. I think it was I don't know. I watched that Jim and Andy documentary and it's like did him trying to become Andy Kaufman turn him into a crazy human? But that's a conversation for another time. The other thing was that the director was saying that he would be open to making a Smash Brothers movie, which I don't know. That's just a conversation itself. I thought it was just a joke, but he's like talking about it seriously,
How
saying
about
that
we finish Sonic first? Let's get Sonic done, and then we can talk about a Smash Brothers
you
movie.
have two Sonic movies already. Is it really that open ended?
I mean, you can definitely tell that this is supposed to be a trilogy. I don't
Okay.
think you make a Sonic 1 and a Sonic 2 and call it quits.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, just remember that poster alone, right, is
Yeah.
basing it off the fact that this is the second movie based on the second game kind of deal.
What is it based off of? Like
Well, I mean,
Sonic
just like the poster, because they aped like
they did.
the cover of Sonic 2 for Sonic the movie 2.
That's just the
Yeah.
So if there's
poster.
right, but if there's 3 games, you want to make 3 movies to match it up, right? Because they
The
could have called Sonic the Hedgehog 2 anything. They could have said Sonic 2 colon Blue Blur or something like that. But to
yeah.
name it the exact thing as the game, I feel like that's what they're going for. They're going for a trilogy.
Think of the money. You know, you
That
don't just
too.
stop at a duology, you make a trilogy. You've already got the rights to Sonic, use it for at least 3 movies, you know? Like,
I mean,
you went
they're
through
gonna
the
make
rigmarole of getting it.
if they're able to. It seems like they're making money off of this. They're gonna make them forever. We all know this. They're gonna make them forever. So my
Yeah.
question is, when are you gonna make the Smash Brothers? I mean, the Smash Brothers movie is gonna be far off in the distance. But when do you start those talks? I mean, you start off the talks whenever you get the opportunity.
Oh, probably as soon as he said he was into doing a Smash Brothers movie, some behind the scenes big exec was like, all right, let's start looking at what this is going to take. I
Yeah,
think
look at
we
the
can make a huge
numbers.
amount of money off this. And
Yeah,
like, look at this, like Smash Brothers. Like, if we look at the Marvel universe and see what they did, you see how many characters in the Marvel universe? We have tons of characters in Smash Brothers. We could do backstory movies on all of them. Like,
Yeah,
just
but
imagine the money.
the rub there comes with all the Marvel characters are under the same company, so they don't have to pay anybody licensing fees or work out
Oh, I know.
contracts or anything like that, right? So
Well,
when you do the Smash Brothers movie, that is going to be the most red tape movie in Hollywood history
yeah,
with all the
Yeah,
contract
but
and stuff that you have to do.
that's where the beauty of it is, because after you do the Smash Brothers movie, then you can just devolve it into behind the scenes backstory movies of each and individual character. So then you only
yeah.
need one studio for each.
But you still need to pull it off, which is insanity. I mean, you know that already they're backdoor piloting Donkey Kong into the universe because Donkey Kong
Yeah.
is going to be in Mario, um, and so they're going to be testing things out. I
The other
guess.
thing, Nintendo is real
Yep.
stingy with that kind of stuff because
Oh, they're incredibly
Mario's
stingy.
been around what 35, almost 40 years, and they're just now making a movie.
Well, if you say it like that,
No, we're not talking about that. You know what I mean.
yes, they say what you will. I mean that, yeah, it exists. It
I-
It
exists.
was tried.
you.
Yeah.
It was tried. We don't think about that though.
I it's so entertaining. It's so entertaining and oh man. I just want that model of Yoshi. They were doing Detective Pikachu before Detective Pikachu. I want that Yoshi.
You could
Yeah.
probably find it somewhere. Somebody will 3D print it
Probably
for
could.
you.
That's true. That's fair.
That's true. Like 3D printing opens up new possibilities of everything now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So Smash Brothers movie. I mean, I could totally see them doing it once they have Mario, Donkey Kong, and like Star Fox. You know, I don't know what they're going to. There's no way to do a Earthbound movie. Who would? What would an Earthbound movie even be? You know.
That's the fun of it, though. I think is it could literally be everything. It could be anything as long as it's focused on the kids.
Well, I guess Itoi's a famous writer, right?
Right.
The guy who made Earthbound.
But
Um,
the thing about that is he's kind of over Earthbound at this point. Like he's like, I made my trilogy and I'm done. I've said what I needed to say with the Mother series and I'm kind of moving on. So that'd be the toughest part is to get him to say, okay, I guess I can think of something. Because it's
yeah.
hard to come back to something when you say goodbye to it like that.
Yeah.
Uh, Apparently, he also had a bass fishing mini. That's interesting. Yeah, when you were saying he moved on, I like looked at his Wikipedia and it said he moved on to his, you know, self-titled bass fishing mini game. Game.
That sounds like exactly something he would do.
Oh my lord,
I can
insane,
appreciate that.
insane. Um, yeah.
If I move on, I move on. It's just
I don't know. I would come back if I have the opportunity to go into like a different form of media with something. I'd give it a look. You know.
I guess it depends on how attached I was to the characters, but if I felt like I had closure on everything and I didn't want to open up new can of worms, then I'd probably not come
Yeah,
back
that's the thing. Like, if you make
regardless.
something that people like, you make a second of it. Like, like Toby Fox can make a Deltarune all he wants, but if he makes an Undertale 2, people will start being a bit, upset over anything and everything.
Yeah. Unless he
Um,
does like a really fantastic job and then it's
still,
you've got the duology, right? So it's just
still,
Which
I
he
mean,
has been doing so far with
right?
Deltarune, by the way.
The Deltarune apparently it's been pretty good, but like everyone just will compare it to this impeccable work of art, you know.
yeah.
But what other characters like? What would be the other movie to have? Um, because you can't do a horror Metroid movie
Why's that?
because it's Nintendo, right? Like I don't know. I feel like you have to make something for all ages.
But
I
you
don't think
don't.
Dread is for all ages.
If like
That's fair.
if you look at part of the reason that Marvel succeeded so well is because they started doing a little bit of those darker movies, you know?
Well, the
Like
darker
look
movie
at
is
how
coming out now.
look at how well Deadpool did. That is not a kids movie,
Yeah,
Right.
that's
right?
not.
Deadpool 1, case in point, is one of the main things. And also they did make the Marvel movies appeal a lot more to the adult nature. Like if I went in and watched like the new Marvel superhero movies, they're not exactly like, "Oh yeah, this is a kids movie."
Yeah,
Um
and the
Which
Sam
is
Raimi.
honestly
Yep.
yeah,
Sorry, go
which
on.
is honestly one of the problems that I think Morbius is having, is because they tried to make Morbius more kid-friendly, but it's like, this is a vampire movie.
It's
That's
a.
not the problem that they have with
This is
Morbius.
it's
The
it
problem that they
is
have with Morbius is Morbius. It's
it's part of
garbage.
it. But imagine how much more freedom they'd have if they could actually make it like a vampire movie where he could actually drink blood or kill people like on screen and you can see things happen or
I,
like
yeah,
just make it actually visually interesting. I know there's more problems to the movie, but like
You know what else would be cool if it wasn't owned by Sony? You know why?
that too.
Because since
Yeah.
he's a vampire, I think there's isn't there what
Blade,
was that one guy's name that could hunt vampires and
Blade,
that would make a crossover really well?
Blade.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Didn't
that's
think about that.
yeah, super weird. I don't know. I mean, like, why did they pull? I guess Morbius must have been popular at some point and is not popular these days.
In the 90s.
Was Morbius popular in the 90s? I do not remember
Yeah,
Morbius.
he was in that Spider-Man
Yeah.
cartoon.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yep.
I guess Spawn was just so popular, so Morbius is pretty tangential.
Yeah. And like honestly they could have made it cool, but they failed miserably. So
Yeah. But Spawn was made in the 90s and it's still cool.
Well, Spawn
Oh, yeah.
itself was like a whole thing, and if you look at its creator, oh man, there's a whole bunch. But
Yeah.
Spawn, it was, I guess the first of its kind, and it really, it was like the first mature kind of thing. But who
I
am
think
I to say
Spawn and
that?
Blade were around the same time.
Yeah,
There had to be like within maybe like a year or two of each other at most.
and Blade was the
Yeah.
breakout superhero movie, if I remember correctly. But like what?
Man, I haven't watched the Blade trilogy in so long.
Oh, that's probably for good
Worth it.
reason. Yeah.
1 and 2 are good. 3 is it's something.
It
Oh.
is something, yeah. I know. I've watched them all multiple times. I'm saying I haven't watched them in a long time. So
I mean, I've honors. Like I've seen Red Letter Media reacts to Blade 3. That's basically what I've seen from Blade 3. And the like scene where who
Skating
plays
uphill.
what?
Is that the one you're talking about?
The one where his eyes are CGI'd open
Oh,
because he
I think
refused to like
that's
close his eyes and open them.
those
Like
movies, dude.
that's what you're dealing with. It's insane. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's insane. It's insane. Uh But alas, I guess maybe we'll start wrapping up. I gotta figure out what would be the next. I mean, Zelda would be the next one. But aside from Legend of Zelda, what would be the next movie to kind of be like, okay, we've got Mario, Donkey Kong, Sonic. Sonic is probably not going to be in the first Smash Brothers movie. Let's be real. Nintendo doesn't need to make a Smash Brothers movie with other people. Like,
Well, if
just a bonus.
we're thinking Nintendo Prime franchises, right? You said Mario, Donkey Kong,
Yeah, because those are already in the works.
right?
Star Fox
I
was
still think
canceled. Zelda was canceled.
Right. I still think a PG-13 Metroid could work.
PG-13 Metroid.
I think the PG-13 gives them enough flexibility to tell the story and to get the gore across. But
Yeah.
it's not too hard where, they'll be like, oh, this is just a slasher movie or this is just an alien ripoff, which granted the series is, but they can
Yes.
differentiate themselves enough.
There's a reason Ridley's called Ridley.
Yeah. I think if you do it right, you might be able to make a Kirby movie work.
Oh, Kirby would be the easiest one. Wow, yeah. Why didn't I think that?
That's
Kirby,
the one you can do for young kids.
well, you could do it for all ages. It would be your
Well, that
Angry
too,
Birds.
yeah. If you do it right, yeah.
yeah.
Or maybe those Pokemon could do it.
Maybe, So yeah, you got your 4 then. You got your good starters. You got your Mario, your Donkey Kong, your Metroid, and your Kirby. And take it from there.
Well, I'm excited for that, except for Chris Pratt as Mario and Garfield. And
I don't think anybody's excited for that part.
so confusing.
Except Chris Pratt, because he's getting paid.
He's getting paid. Luigi as
Well, just
Charlie
because you're
Day.
getting paid doesn't mean you're excited about it, though.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah.
There's some things that I do that I get paid for I'm not excited about, so.
I get it. No, Charlie Day was a home run. That one was perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect. Even though, is he Italian? I don't know.
Not sure. I
But he's
think
still-
I think that was a home run. I think Jack Black was a home run.
Oh,
as
yeah.
Bowser.
Yeah, that is a home run play right there.
Absolutely.
Everybody else I'm kind of iffy on.
Yep. Same. Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. Maybe I could see that.
Yeah.
She's a great actress.
I'm just
maybe
iffy on the whole
director.
movie, to be honest.
What?
I'm just iffy on the whole movie, to be honest.
Nobody blames you. Nobody blames you.
Yeah.
I remember what didn't happen, so.
Yes. Well, it'll pop up the day that the trailer will pop up the day it's released for you, and you'll be like, "Oh, they did
No,
that."
but the problem is I already know about it right now.
Oh, that's true.
Sonic 2, I didn't even know it was coming out. I literally saw the trailer the day before it came out. I was like, wait, what?
Oh my!
It's like they're making a Sonic 2, and then, oh no, it's actually out tomorrow.
Speaking of which, it's almost already May.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard hide nor hair about that Mario movie. Isn't it supposed to come out what, November,
Oh, it's
October,
supposed to
one of
come
those
out this
two?
year?
It's supposed to be.
Oh
Like, we
boy.
haven't even seen any concept art or key art or anything.
I don't know,
That's
man.
concerning.
Well,
Maybe they're worried that if they release the art early, they're gonna have all their fans yelling at them to change it, and they don't want to spend the money to change the art. So they're like, we'll just release
I
it
mean, it
later.
worked before. It literally worked before. It saved the movie last time. So if they get it out there
Well, I
now
know,
and get enough time,
but
well,
there's
yeah.
different ideas, right? There's like, let's just make what we can off this. We'll
fair
They
point.
release the trailers and everything as late as possible, so people don't actually see anything about it, and then they just go see the movie.
I think
That's
they
a
already filmed
strategy,
it.
is to release trailers as late as you can, so that people don't actually see bad things about the movie.
The
And
internet's
they don't
kind to
release it to
movies,
critics early and that kind of thing, and yeah.
but like they haven't. I think they said at one point that the movie was nearing completion, like or it was complete, and they needed to like do editing on it. But who knows? Um, with that, I think we should start wrapping up, just because I don't want to overuse time. Overuse time. I told you guys I'd try for an hour this time, and we're coming up on it. Um, so first off, thank you guys for being here. I hope you all enjoyed some parts of this, if not all. We've got to go around and say some final thoughts and promote y'all's channels again. Um, Homeboy, I went with you last time. So BearShark, would you like to go first? Any final thoughts on everything?
Final thoughts on everything. Uh, I hope that
Sonic
I hope
movie.
that video producers aren't greedy and they actually listen to what people want to see and they ask for people's input, because the only reason video game movies can be successful is if they're made or have some influence by people that played those video games.
Yeah, I mean,
Case in point,
yeah.
Witcher. It's not a movie, but they did a fantastic job on the series so far on Netflix, and it's because they have a gamer playing Geralt,
Mm-hmm.
right? Get
They have
in
Miyamoto working on the
get
movie.
input from people that can give you input.
Yeah, Miyamoto's
Don't
like
ask me
working
for
on it.
input on Kingdom Hearts. Ask Homeboy for
Miyamoto was
Kingdom
also
Hearts
working on
input.
Star Fox Zero, and look what we got.
Well, we got an interesting experiment, is what we got. Nintendo's not shy about their experiments.
They're not, but they're also not shy about killing off brands when they don't work, which
Yeah,
is what they did with Star Fox. They put that way on ice. They put it at the bottom of a glacier at this point.
it's
Yeah.
it'll come back. Star Fox always comes.
And if you want to watch somebody play video games that isn't afraid to fail, that's me.
Yes.
I love failing. I have a great time failing. I even fail at doing voice impressions because I have a channel point reward for a voice impression, and you
Oh,
can choose literally anyone. There's no guarantees that I'll do it like a good job of it, but I'll try.
yes. Uh, it's good times, and I was. It was really great that I ended up meeting you on that raid. Um, yes. Moving on to Homeboy. Final thoughts.
Uh,
Tell us what you
uh,
really think about the original Mario movie.
It doesn't
well,
exist.
first I'd like to say, I'm sure we're all in agreement. Thoughts and prayers to the Pack family at this time,
Yeah,
as they go through this traumatic event.
I can only
We're
Absolutely.
imagine.
hoping for the best outcome from this situation. And I am, I'll say, cautiously optimistic about the Mario movie and any further video game movies going forward. I think studios are starting to get the hint that you actually need to play the games, or have some, like you were saying, Pocket, have somebody who's played the game to work on the project for it to be successful, because we've seen the opposite of that outcome now from what I'm hearing about Halo, which is not working out very well at all, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, I think we're overall moving towards that kind of ideal where people actually want to make good video game properties.
Yeah, I mean, look at
Um,
Arcane.
yeah, exactly. That's
That was
another great example.
amazing, honestly. My
Blew it
opinion.
out of the water on that one.
Blew it out of the
Mm-hmm.
water. Like, just
And
insanity.
man, the soundtrack on that show.
Ah, You have freaking Sting.
So good.
Sting is on there.
So good.
Ugh. I there's like videos of like how they made the last song, and the artist was like, yeah, and I was working on it, and I needed the right. You can see his process going through, because they were doing it to like, I guess, in tandem with the animators. And in one of the last scenes, there is like a gun, and there's like part of the song that goes in sync with the gun, and it picks up, and you can Google it to find out, but um, there's just so much thought put into that show, uh,
Yeah.
and they did a video game property in a visual form, and it was done right. And I don't
Yep.
know which person sold their soul to get that done, but very happy for it. And Illumination making a Mario movie is not going to be that, but maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be something. I
Who
don't know.
knows? Who know? I never want anything to fail. Let's always put
Yeah,
that
no,
first.
I
You never
never
want any
hope
piece
for a
of
movie that
yeah. You never want any piece of art to be a failure or to be looked at negatively. But you
Yeah.
also have to be a realist about some things. And the fact that we haven't heard anything about this movie outside of it being released and a cast list is definitely concerning at this point.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean,
So.
so
Um.
weird.
But overall, yeah. I thank you, Pocket, again for having me
Thank
back.
you.
I hope you had a good time. And you can find me every Monday night about 7 o'clock, 7:30 with the Super Gamer Boys, and we do our podcast live on Twitch at twitch.tv/the Super Gamer Boys.
Yeah. And oh man, we I space out sometimes. That's what happens. At the end of the show, typically we go raid someone who's a friend of ours. We're going to head over to Legion Cage, but in the meantime, just really wanted to say once again, thank you all very, very much for coming on. We're gonna be possibly off for a week or something. I got a holiday I gotta do. But we'll be streaming on Tuesday and taking it from there. I I really am excited for this new Sonic movie. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because
I think it's good. Being
I don't
excited for
know.
stuff is always good.
Well, I mean, that's what the only reason I like this one was because the other one. The only reason I like the other one was because I was so pessimistic about it. Now I'm scared.
I've got reliable source from Holmboi here saying
Yeah,
that
you
this
know,
one is
guy.
better. So
I don't think you'll walk away. I'd say the least you walk away is going, you know what? Yeah, it's pretty good.
that's what
I think that's the least.
that's what I want. That is my
Right.
dream.
I'm hoping for you to be pleasantly surprised.
Right.
I hope so
That's
too.
my hope for you. Pleasant surprise.
And with that, thank y'all. We'll catch you next time. Bye.